The way that I met Sol, well, I've told the story many times, but I very quickly learned that while he might have had a tough exterior and been known as being a very tough businessman, those of us who knew him well knew that he actually was quite a softie.
So I owe a lot to Sol in pushing me to go into a new practice area at which I became very proficient. Without him, I probably wouldn't be doing this work right now. So I do owe Sol a lot.
Sol was somebody who had passion for his business. He knew how to articulate the messages that needed to be articulated to the people who needed to hear them. But more importantly, Sol was the kind of leader that he would leave room for others to lead.
About 15 years ago, with his beautiful wife, and with the thank you cards that I sent out for people that I had a good photograph of, I put a picture of them in the thank you card to send to them for attending. And I had a picture of Sol and Blanche, and Sol called me and he said, "That's a beautiful picture of me and Blanche. You should use that for a thank you card." I said, "Sol, I did use it for a thank you card. I sent you the thank you card." He said, "No, Ari, everyone should get that picture."
Remember when Sol would wear these shoes that sort of looked like slippers, and had always had wild socks, and I would tease him about his socks. And one day in the mail, I received 3 pairs of wild socks with a note that said it was my starter kit.
He always started by talking about how his business started with his father after World War II. He and his brother started developing houses, and then slowly morphed into this much bigger company that built large affordable housing projects. That always resonated very, very well with tenant groups, individual residents, and also the fact that they only focus on affordable housing. There are very few companies left that only do affordable housing to this day.
The Arker Company was a small company, and way back when, it was basically a pop and pop company. Sol and his brother Alan were doing all the work. But they were working on big projects. And Sol enjoyed that. He liked working on big projects. I think he got a lot of satisfaction in creating affordable housing for people who really needed it.
When Blanche called me to tell me that Sol had passed away, she thanked me for all the text messages and the phone calls and the visits to New York. And then she took a pause and she said, Sol really loved you. And it really meant a lot to me, and I miss him a lot.